Hi, good evening. If you're watching this live, or good day if you're seeing the recorded version of this webinar. Um, this is part of a series of webinars that we are doing at YouTube Can Run on various topics. One series that is running is about the book that we published called Sofa to 5K, which is basically a very introductory level handbook for any runner to any non-runner to start running 5K, 5 kilometers from the sofa. That is somebody who's sedentary and going to start running. It's a nice book, easy to understand in an 8-week plan. This series, of which this is the first episode, is about our second publication that we released at the India Running Summit 2015 in January 2015 at Bombay. And this second publication is called the Trainer's Logbook. So this is probably as critical as the Sofa to 5K book in making you a better person, a better runner, a better athlete, a bit more fit person. So this one is about why this book, and what are the key reasons for us to go and publish this book as part of our mission to promote running for good health. So the first reason, I mean, this book has got many parts, and the first important part is to is that every trainer and the trainee must give an informed consent to the training. So very often what happens is that people start training and there is no clearly understood goals and definition and risk and acceptance of that consent. So just as when they draw blood from a pathology or they go for a surgery or something like that, the hospital takes signature of the relatives. So basically this is to protect the trainer from the trainee uh, having wrong expectations and then holding the trainer up to it. So basically we felt that trainers must have an informed consent from the training, and the first part of the book is about the informed consent, and we'll be going into each of these parts in detail in subsequent sessions. I mean, this is going to be very long. We are going to tell you how to evaluate, how to actually do the test and everything. So the first part is about the informed consent, which is very much a necessary part of the this. The second part that we come to is the risk assessment. So in starting any training, there is a certain training risk. Often people who come for training are having sedentary individuals who have some medical issue or the other in their lives. Maybe they're having risk for cardiac, maybe they have some muscle injury, maybe they have been allergic to certain things, maybe they've got sugar, that is diabetic, they're on medication. So we don't know. I mean, unless we ask, the trainee is not going to come and tell us everything as clearly. So basically what the risk assessment module does is that it asks a series of questions, and based on the responses it tells the trainer in what category of risk this trainee falls. For broadly speaking, it is about green, yellow and red. We put him in three buckets. The green means you can start training with him, no problems. The yellow means that please take caution and don't do certain things too fast. Wait for him to analyze and then start doing it. And the red means basically that the trainee must consult a doctor, and the trainer must start exercising after the doctor's consent has been taken. This is very important. We have had many instances, and this is one of the reasons why we thought we should publish this book, is that we have had many instances of people who have trainees who have expired during training. So this has created a lot of issues for the trainers, and trainers have come under fire for having done too much for the trainees too soon, etc. The idea is that what will happen in real life, nobody can control. I mean, if death is imminent, death is imminent. We cannot say anything about it. But at least if we have the processes in place to see that we are doing things correctly, then at least we can stand up to scrutiny as trainers and say that this is what I've been doing, this is the risk assessment I followed, these are the answers he gave me, and this is why I started doing this. And yes, I should, by the time way, I should tell you that most of this booklet is drawn, condensed, adapted for Indian conditions from the American College of Sports Medicine recommendations. So we've done a lot of studies and basically made a lot of science that is actionable and implementable at a trainer trainee level on the field. So the purpose of making a book again is that the trainer must be able to go on a field and fill this up in pen and paper, which is still the easiest way to get work done. And the trainee and there should be effectiveness in the entire process. So that is about risk assessment. Basically you assess the risk of the trainee and determine what is the kind of training that you should do. The third is evaluation. So there is the first time evaluation, the primary evaluation. So basically, what you're doing in evaluation is that you are evaluating his fitness across various criteria. So basically, the three or four broad criteria. The the first is, of course, you measure him. You measure his weight and you measure his height, and you come to his BMR and his body fat, and these are all measurements. Blood pressure, these are all measurements. After that, you start testing him. So when you start testing him, you test him for his cardiopulmonary fitness, that is aerobic fitness. You start him for his weight bearing capability, that is strength training, muscle strength, and then muscle force, that is how much there is muscle endurance. And then you test him for flexibility. And lastly, we have included something that's very unique in the testing process. We basically test the trainee for functional mobility. We run him through a series of 9 tests in that section and see whether his body is working in the way nature designed it to work. So this is something that is very important. Most trainers and trainees ignore this aspect. They are not, the body is compromised because of a sedentary lifestyle, and on that compromised body, the trainer starts training the training, and that results in various injuries. So functional mobility believes that prehab is better than rehab. That is, doing things first and fixing issues is better than starting the training and then going into rehab with an injury. So that is all about evaluation. One of the important aspects as soon as we start this entire exercise between the trainer and the trainee is that we determine the training goals. So often there are unstated goals. Trainers hold out some goals. So you'll be able to run a half marathon in 6 months, or you'll be able to run a 10K or a 5K in 8 weeks, or we will build muscles for you. These are all different goals that people can have. And trainees have probably different goals. Maybe all they want to be is functionally fit. They don't want to get a catch when they take a suitcase from an aircraft, for example, or be able to be flexible so that they can bend down and remove that keyboard without having to wait for IT admin to show up and bend down and remove that keyboard. So basically, their goals may be more functional fitness with some element of challenge and some element of achievement, like running a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon or foot, whatever. I mean, those are all nice things. But basically, this section of determining the training goals helps the trainer and the trainee to come to a common understanding about what the goals are. So the trainee can state what his goals are, and the trainer can then accept what he can deliver, and then document that, so that between the two of them there is clarity on what they want to do. Otherwise, most relationships fail because there's no clarity. So after some time, the trainee has unstated aspirations. The trainer never knows it, and it's like any relationship, husband and wife. Breakdowns happen because there's no communication. So this aspect of the training goal is basically that: establish communications, be clear on what the relationship is being formed for, and state it upfront between the two of you. So that is training goals. Coming to the other section of the book is that we then monitor the actual training effectiveness. So there are 4 quarters. The idea is that you must do it once when you start, and you must do it 3 more times during the year. So this book is designed to be one logbook for 1 year. Think of it like a child's calendar or report. Most mothers and parents, immediately buy a logbook of their children, and then they write down when their teeth grew and when their hair came out and when they stood and when they first said mama, and all this kind of very nice and cute record is kept of the children, photographs are taken and all that. So this is the same diary about you rejuvenating yourself, being born again into a fitter and a healthier lifestyle. So look upon this as that kind of a book. So basically, what this entire this measures is that it helps you to monitor the training effectively, the training effectiveness. So you monitor the training effectiveness, you see whether your goals are being met, whether you're moving towards a goal. For example, your goal could be weight loss, okay? And then we have a food log section in the trainer's log. So it's complete, it's absolutely complete. We have a training food log section in the this, and you could monitor what you're eating, and then you could run it through the trainer if the trainer is competent, or you can go to a nutritionist, and then you can start looking at your diet and start looking at your food intake and caloric deficit that you are creating, and monitor your weight loss. So you will know whether whatever is happening between you and the trainer is effective. Are you progressing towards the goal? So basically, that is the idea of quarterly assessment. What are those goals are? And lastly, it's a record of your progress. So like I said, think of that baby in the pram, or the baby that is just born and swaddled, and you are a bit like that when you start training, and you're seeking to get a punarjanma, a rebirth in terms of your health. And I mean, I have records of me for the last 10 years, and I keep an entire Excel sheet of all my medication. Every quarterly, I go to a pathology and get myself tested for various parameters: sugar, lipids, thyroid. I have a thyroid problem. Vitamin D, B12. There's a worldwide famine in these two vitamins. So I keep recording that every quarter, and then I fill up an Excel sheet, and I keep that. So whenever I go back, I like to look at that Excel sheet and see how my lipids were earlier when I was not so cautious in my food habits, and how they are now that I am, much more cautious in what I do in my with my food intake. So it's a very nice record. The other thing that I do is that I have a Garmin, a heart rate monitor that records all my runs. So that log also I like to see, and I like to see what speed I could run earlier, what speed I can run now. I have conducted various weight loss challenges for various groups of runners, and those files are all in my hard disk. And sometimes it's real fun to open up a file of about 5 years back or 6 years back, and see how heavy this group of runners were, the group of runners with whom I was doing the weight loss challenge. And then fast forward to now, and see how in 4 or 5 years they have become so slim and lost weight, and it's a beautiful record. And I'm sure that you as a trainee would want to have this record of a progress. It documents the achievement in life. The achievement in life is coming back to public health, good health, and getting out of all the medications that if you are taking, it's restoring back the energy, the sprightiness, the verb in your life, and you definitely want that record. The This book is more of a, we are selling this book, and the book is priced at rupees 50. So trainers are expected to buy this and use it for their trainees. If you're a trainee, then you should tell your trainer that you would like to have a book maintained like this, and the trainer can then come and understand everything, and you both can do that for you or for your running group. We look upon this not as a money making venture. We There are certain publications where we have a slight markup, but in this we have no markup. Okay, so basically 50 rupees is the cost of this book. It's well made. It has several pages. It has notes, and then we have this entire webinar series that is going to help you to maintain this. So we will of course be going to each section of this book in greater detail in subsequent webinar episodes. But basically, you do, it's quite a lot of value, and 50 rupees is just the cost of printing the book. It does not in any way represent the value of you restoring your good health back. So with those few words, I thank you very much for your patient hearing. I thank you for choosing to spend this part of the day with us. And I hope that you will subscribe to this channel and go through all the other subsequent episodes and really educate yourself about what is health and what is fitness and how you can recover your good health back while working with YouTube Kendra, which brings me to the last thing. Our mission is to promote running for good health, and we do everything here to promote running and recover your good health. Thank you very much. Bye.